I didn't flinch when he said it. The smell of charred meat hung heavy in the air, beer bottles clinking as everyone laughed at the punchline. Except, the punchline was me. Old enough to pay rent or get out, Dad said loud enough for the neighbors to hear. Everyone laughed. My uncles, my cousins, even my sister. Mom smiled that cruel little smile that never reached her eyes. I forced a smile too, because what no one realized was I had already signed the closing documents the day before. Growing up, I was the one who kept the house running. My paycheck went to bills. Electricity, water, Wi-Fi, all in my name. They didn't care where the money came from, as long as the lights stayed on and the TV worked. When the fridge was full, they joked I was finally useful. When it was empty, I was blamed. I told myself it was temporary. That family was supposed to be give and take, that someday they would see me as more than their safety net. But the truth had been staring at me for years. They didn't want me. They wanted what I provided. The BBQ sealed it. The way they laughed told me everything I needed to know. That night, I went to my room and stared at the stacks of envelopes with my name on them. Utility bills, credit card receipts, rent agreements, all paid by me. All proof of who was really keeping this family afloat. My hand didn't shake when I made the decision. I wasn't leaving in shame. I was leaving in silence, with precision. The next morning, I packed my things, just 2 bags. Everything else, the couch, the TV, the furniture I had bought, stayed behind. Let them enjoy it. For a week, because at noon, I stood in front of my new house, my house. Keys still cold in my hand, contract stamped, mortgage under my name only. No one knew. I felt the first taste of freedom then. It was quiet, clean, mine. But freedom wasn't enough. Justice was still waiting. That afternoon, I made the calls. Power company, water supply, internet provider. Every account was linked to me. Every bill auto-paid from my bank. I ended it all in 15 minutes. Please confirm cancellation, the customer service rep asked. Cancel everything, I said. And just like that, the house I grew up in began its countdown. By evening, my phone buzzed. First from Mom, Wi-Fi down, fix it. Then from Dad, power cut, pay the bill now. I didn't answer. I poured myself a drink, sat on the floor of my new living room, and listened to the silence. By nightfall, the calls turned to threats. Do you think you're funny? Turn it back on or don't bother coming home. That was the first time they realized I wasn't coming home. 2 days later, I returned, not to stay, to deliver the final blow. They were sitting in the dark when I walked in. Candles flickered on the dining table. My sister was whining about missing her shows. My parents looked older, tired, irritated, helpless. Dad's voice cracked when he saw me. "Where the hell have you been? Fix this!" I set the new keys on the table. The sound was sharp, deliberate. "I won't be paying the bills anymore," I said calmly. The words hung in the air. Mom's face drained of color. Dad opened his mouth, then closed it. My sister laughed nervously, waiting for the punchline that never came. "I moved out," I added. "Everything's in my name. Power, water, Wi-Fi. You'll need to set up your own accounts now." Silence. I watched realization dawn on them, slow and brutal. Dad's eyes flickered with something I hadn't seen before. Fear. Mom clenched her jaw. My sister whispered, "Wait, you can't just leave us like this." But I already had. "You wanted me to be grown enough to pay rent or get out," I reminded them, "so I got out. And now you'll see what this house costs without me. No yelling, no revenge speech, just truth." The next day, I received a message from the landlord. Rent hadn't been paid. My parents had never transferred a dime. It had always been me. Without me, eviction was inevitable. I didn't reply. Instead, I unpacked in my new house. I filled my fridge with food no one else would touch. I set my own Wi-Fi password. I turned on every light just because I could. It wasn't about punishment anymore. It was about freedom.
about finally cutting the chain. Weeks later, my sister texted me from a borrowed phone. "We're staying with Aunt Lisa until Dad figures things out. Hope you're happy." I was, because for once, my paycheck went to me, my life, my future. They thought they could laugh at me, belittle me, drain me. But I had the last word. Quiet, sharp, permanent. Now, every time I drive past that old house, dark and empty, I don't feel bitterness. I feel clarity. They thought I was just a wallet, a tool, a joke. But I was the foundation. And when I pulled myself out, the whole house crumbled.